Hello everybody, and welcome back for another War Thunder air battle with my XP-55, one of my favorite American premium planes. This was the first battle that I flew for the XF-5F giveaway for the U.S. Air Force's birthday giveaway event, celebrating the birthday of the U.S. Air Force on 18 September of 1947. So I thought, well, what better airplane to do it in than my XP-55? I've almost never had bad luck with it. And as you'll see, that string of not having bad luck continued into this battle. So we make first contact with the enemy after a bit of a climb. You can see I like to side climb on this map and then come in and join the battle from kind of the side here, from this angle a little bit. Generally works pretty well. Gives you the option to keep climbing and go after higher enemy aircraft, or dive if necessary, and usually there are targets to dive on. So I was initially targeting this P-47 up in the sky high above my teammates because they were all about to get dived on by a rather large, rather heavy, very fast diving aircraft. Also, it was pretty funny that that SB-2 shot down the duck there. So I'm trying to decide here, do I want to go after the P-47 still, or do I want to go diving after that G-55S that's threatening our guys down south, or down low, not down south. To the north, in fact, of me. And I figure they're going to have to deal with it themselves because we've got nobody else who's really up high who can threaten this P-47, so I'm going to stick on him. And then I noticed a P-108 down low. And, well, since I was going for kills for the XF-5F giveaway, and also 1947 score if I could help it, and also a victory with battle time, I went for the P-108 instead. Got a couple good hits on him in this dive, but nothing particularly special. No real severe wing damage or criticals or anything, no fires. Had quite a bit of speed built up, which the XP-55 is wont to do. And then he had gone into a dive as I went into a climb, which ended up with me getting quite a bit behind him. Now I went up for his fuselage there to take out the two side tail gunners, and then started focusing on his wings if I could help it. Put a lot of more hits into his fuselage because we were kind of crisscrossing on each other a little bit, but I got a lot of good damage into him. Still no fire, but I definitely put a lot of hurting on his engines. Ended up overshooting him because I didn't touch the throttle during that attack, because I really was expecting to get a fire once I switched back over to his wings and his engines, but it was not quite to be. Did get one of his engines completely knocked out, though. As he rolled over here and went diving for the deck, I thought, alright, he's finished. It doesn't really matter. He's not going to pull out of that. So I rolled off of him and went looking for new enemies. And that's when I saw a BV-238 heading for our bomb zones. I thought that P-108 any second there was going to overspeed, his wings are going to rip off, or he's going to J out to save himself some repair time, and I've got him. Except apparently he recovered from that dive and continued onwards. However, he was certainly heading back to his airfield, and I was still pretty confident that I'd probably done enough damage to him that he was going to have a lot of trouble either trying to land because his gear was shot away or was going to fail, or once he got slow enough, his whatever damage I did to his right wing was going to drag him down and make him stall and crash out, so decided to use what little machine guns I had left and the fair amount of cannon ammo I had left to go and see if I could take out this BV-238 before our team had to try and do it. Got some pretty decent hits into his right wing, including an engine fire right at the end, which started burning into the fuselage and the rest of his wing. So made my gunnery pass and then tried to use my energy to scream right on past him and not stay in his firing zone of his gunners. He started taking some fuel tank damage, which generally means he's probably toast. That fire is not going out. It's always kind of nice when you can just sit back and watch your handiwork. Once he lost the tail there, I knew he was finished. I wasn't sure actually if my gear was still going to work or not, so I did a quick test there, verified that it was in fact going to work and deploy, and then continued back on for our airfield. Which was actually a little bit difficult to see in the shadows of the terrain here with the sun being as low as it is. Thankfully, the sun wasn't really blinding us, it was just barely below the horizon, but it still made locating the airfield visually a little bit tricky without really seeing it on the minimap. I was carrying quite a bit of excess speed, so tried to cut the engine a little early and glide it in, and still needed to burn off a little bit of speed with some zigzag side-to-side maneuvers here. And the P-108 that I set on fire, well, didn't set on fire, either crashed or jayed out or something. So I used my 3 remaining cannon rounds as a cannon brake there to slow myself down a tiny little bit more, and then I set her down on the runway to rearm, refuel, and repair. You can see there's not very many players left on the enemy team. So after we've taken back off again, there are 2 enemies left. A P-47 who's 22 kilometers away, and an unknown other aircraft that I can't quite see just at the moment. I'm not going to really bother climbing. It's more important right now to get to the battle as fast as I possibly can. So get enough altitude that I can have a slight dive if I need to get away, or get after and catch up to an enemy if I suddenly discover one, or one suddenly discovers me. And then other than that, just try to keep the plane fairly level and get as much speed as possible to get up to where the fight's going on. I really do love the XP-55. It is definitely one of my favorite vehicles. And this conversation in chat, I've had this conversation so many times. Sometimes it gets annoying, but most of the time it's just trying to make people understand that, like, I don't have special characters or anything in my name, so you can't really fake it. You really can't fake it. And for real, if someone doesn't believe that I'm really me, I really don't care if you believe me or not in chat. I don't have to prove that I'm really me or not really me to you. If you look at my name and you see my name spelled like that, as I've said before, capital O, everything else, lowercase, no spaces, no underscores, no characters, then it's me. Because you can't make your name the same as someone else. Anyway, back to the battle. I'm slowly closing in on the P-47 here. And the P-47 is slowly closing in on our SB-2C, unfortunately. Sadly, even going almost 360 miles an hour, I could not catch up to the P-47 in time to save the SB-2C. But I got there as quickly as I could afterwards, which was pretty quick since I was really hauling low on the deck. He starts the usual mouse-throwing porpoising maneuver, but I actually led him just right to get a good cannon shot into the back of his P-47, and that finished him off for what would be the final enemy kill of the game and my third kill of the battle, because the other guy who was left was crashed out on the runway, so that would actually be that for this battle. Not a bad start at all, considering I got my 1947 score. We certainly were going to get a victory. It certainly was going to be more than 60% battle activity, and I had 3 kills to start things off for the 25 kills I would need in RB for the XF5F. And it wasn't until the battle was over and I went and checked my progress on the accomplishments when I realized that it said you had to be tier 3 and up, and the XP55 is a tier 2. So this just ended up being a good battle. It unfortunately didn't credit me towards the XF5F. But I thought I'd gotten off to a raring start. But, oh well. I don't think it specified in the news blog that you had to be tier 3 and up. It may have, and I may have just not seen it, but it definitely said so in the accomplishments tab, which is where I finally noticed that this battle wasn't going to count. But even so, still a pretty good fight for the XP55. And that'll do it for today. I will see you guys again very soon for some more War Thunder. I'm not sure what's coming next after this video, but be sure to stop by and check it out, and have a great day, everybody.